Hello again. Well, if you've ever bought anything online, you might be interested in how this little saga is panning out. Not very well, actually. I ordered a pair of pannier bags for my motorcycle, and I had the choice of two. I had the choice of buying these, which, as you can see, are a kind of a black leather looking thing. They're very nice, have a little clip there and a combination lock on it. So it's if I had ordered them, I'd be very pleased. But I ordered another set which would be more fitting for my bike, which is a modern sports bike. This, it seems, would be more fitting for a Harley Davidson type of bike. So I didn't choose these. I chose the other one, which are carbon fiber, which are a very much more modern looking style to this. This is what was delivered, but I paid for them, obviously, and then just opened the bag and discovered that they were not the ones that I ordered. So let's see what the tag says. It says seller address. So, and it's got an address here for somewhere in Bulacan. All right, so it's still in the Philippines. Now, I then texted the company that delivered the thing. They said after a couple of letters and waiting, this happened like a few days ago. So I immediately got in touch with them, said you've sent the wrong thing. Can you please advise me what I'm supposed to do? Now with Lazada, they do have a return policy, but apparently they haven't made it quite clear enough, at least not to me, that who we should be writing to in the event of something like this happening. So the problem for me now is I have something which I paid the same price for the ones that I wanted. I paid the same price for these as the ones that I wanted, which are carbon fiber. These are a leather, a very hard leather look. What they are, anybody knows. So what do I do? Well, eventually I got a response back last night that says, in effect, it's nothing to do with us. We only delivered it. So I'm writing about these things because this is not the only thing that I have ordered or that I've taken delivery of, which has been not what I wanted. So these are the things that I've got and don't want, and I've paid for them in good faith. Now, ideally, what should happen, and I can see why it doesn't, because it would be an extra burden of repackaging items which are not as they are promised. But ideally, you should be able to look at the piece before you hand over money. And I've spoken about this to other expats. My friend Michael said, well, that's what I'm going to do in the future. I'm not going to buy it unless I can open it and see that it's the correct order. If I'd been able to do that, or if I'd done that, then I wouldn't have this problem, because I would simply have taped it back up, given it back to the poor guy whose only job is just to deliver, and I wouldn't at least have handed the money over. So then it would be a question of, would I have the faith to order again and get and who knows, Murphy is alive and well, I can assure you. I'll probably get these back for the second time. So now I'm wondering, should I be opening the parcels when I get them? Now I'll tell you why I think that I probably should, and I'll just go off and get some of the stuff that I bought. Okay, so back again. Now, let me tell you our history of buying. Our history of buying, because we're in perhaps a remote area. We're on a small island. Bohol is not a huge island. And it has one, as far as I know, one major city, which is Tagbilaran, which has all of the amenities, or almost all of the amenities that you would expect of a fair-sized city. Certainly it has the traffic, which is why I couldn't ever live in Tagbilaran. But, so we order in the best of faith. Now, I would say that roughly 40, maybe 50% of what we order on the internet simply does not arrive. We've ordered microphones on numerous occasions and it just never arrived. So, what are we looking at? This, just if you are new to ordering online, this is what you might be getting. Now this is the box that you might get. And on that box, it does not say anything about what the contents are. So I don't even know what this particular thing was for. This might be one of the things that we ordered and we tried it and we haven't actually got through testing it properly. So this was one of the microphones that I ordered. That might be the one. Now also Beth also orders some things online and has been successful in having them delivered and paid for, and some have been good, some have been useless. But this is what you get. You get a box. Now on that it says First Mile Pickup Ninja Van Philippines. That's the name of the delivery company that actually ends up sending on about the last mile or so. A play on words, I think. Ninja Van. Customer, Terence Martin, Bohol, gives the address, my address. It gives some barcode. Then it says seller address. And then it gives, for this one, it gives an address in Laguna. Okay, shipped through Lazada. Okay. Now what you have to assume then from that, I'm assuming that the seller is advertising on the Lazada website channel, so it is shipped through Lazada. But so far in my journey through this, trying to get this problem sorted, I haven't been in touch direct with Lazada because I didn't know that that's what you were supposed to do. Now I know. But look, see what we used to order a fair amount, and we might have 3 or 4 orders that are outstanding at any time. And I don't always know what Beth has ordered, and she doesn't always know what I've ordered. So if I'm not here, which is what happened with these bags, if I'm not here and it comes for me, we have a little stash of money, a few thousand pesos, which is there so that no order will be turned away in the absence of me having ordered or Beth having ordered. So what tended to happen is if anything arrived and it had our address on it, then we would pay for it and receive it. So this is one of the things. This is one of the things that was paid for. Beth paid for this. She said, "Oh, that one's yours," and I open it, and inside I get these. Now it's all in Chinese. So, 我说的不好。可是我会说一点普通话, which is roughly almost all of the Chinese that I speak, meaning I speak a little Mandarin, but not too well. I don't read any of that. And so I have very nice box with nice graphics. Not a single word in English. So, not only not a single word in English, but here's the saviour. As long as it has instructions, then we'll be able to work out what it's for. Guess what? It's all in Chinese, which reminds me of one time that I was in China and I needed to draw some money on my credit card. And so I went to the bank where I thought that I'd be able to do that. So it turned out that I couldn't do that, that it wouldn't take my credit card. And the guard explained this to me very, very well in Chinese, which of course I went like this. And so he very kindly, realizing that I wasn't able to understand, he took me over to a notice board where it explained fully in writing exactly what my problem would be. At least I assume it was, because it was all in bloody Chinese. So he tried me with vocal and then he took me over to the written word and it was like this, explained nothing at all. So I now have something which is a series of pills with no instruction. There were more than this. There's another pack. So apparently this was quite expensive. I think it was 1,000 pesos or possibly more. Don't know what to do, what would be in that, and I'm certainly not going to try out. So that's a waste of time. So we've got that. Don't know where the packing went for that. Beth must have thrown it away thinking everything was fine. This is the problem. We've changed on that now. And the last thing that we had, the big disappointment was a parcel arrived for me and we've actually lost the thing on this. What? No, it's not there. We've lost the outside wrapper on this, or it's been destroyed. But no, it's not. Here it is. Let me see. I'm sure that the one that I saw. Now, some of you might know that my earlier part of my life, for 25 or 30 years, I was a professional musician and playing in mostly in some small group jazz and stuff like that, and a tiny little bit of orchestral, but mainly in top 40 bands, which are over amplified for the guys that are in the band. It's bad enough for the people outside, but they can at least wear earplugs which cut down some of the size, some of the volume. Well, no surprise, standing there hardly able to hear yourself speak night after night takes its toll on your hearing. And problem is, without going into my woe, my tale of woe, what happens when your hearing gets damaged as you go through your life, especially for a musician who, as I said, has been working in a condition where it's over amplified noise. Well, some of the bands I worked in, it was noise. Anyway, it's the top part of your hearing that goes. In other words, the treble. It's that little hiss edge on the word which makes it understandable. So even though the volume is not always too soft, if you haven't got the edge on the word, the treble, if it's mostly mid-range and bass, the deep sound, the thumping, if it's not that, that's always loud enough, probably too loud. the edge has gone and it's difficult to understand. So, what's the answer? Well, I listened to a talk on, I think, Facebook, and he explained this exact thing, the fact that it's not a lack of volume, but a lack of, is it called sibilance? So, he was talking about how his hearing aids, or their hearing aids, were far superior and were better made, but they'd been able to do it a lot cheaper. And it marketed for 2,000 pesos. So, here's my box. We get it, and this time, Beth, I've told Beth, there's 2,000 pesos there on the shelf, and it is for hearing aids, a pair of hearing aids. So check the parcel. So in fact, she did check the parcel. Now, I know you're probably seeing this upside down again or back to front again, but it actually does say on the package, hearing aids, quantity 1, hearing aids, meaning 2. So, in great anticipation, I opened the box and, well, 2 big boxes, and this is what I have. Now, just when you think it's going so well, as they always say, or remember the Jaws movie, the second one that they made, they said, just as you thought it was safe to go back in the water. Well, I look at this and I learn nothing. Why? Because it's in Chinese. Zenshu. Zenshu is what it says. Ah, I found a little bit of English. So on my hearing aid box, this is what it says. Sensu. Morocco nuts, hair cultivation, silky essential oil. I'm still agog. Maybe they found another way of putting hair oil in your ears and suddenly you can hear. So, I'm now the proud owner of 2 at 1,000 pesos. This is what I've got instead of my hearing aids. Now, when I went to the packing, what does it say? It gives my name and address, obviously. It gives the phone number. It also gives the sender. Sender is in Valenzuela City, Metro Manila. A long way from Metro Manila. But there's a phone number. We phone that number and the number is wrong. So, going on my now experience of no point in getting in touch with Ninja Van Company because they'll just say, we only delivered it. It's up to you somehow to know intuitively what's in the bloody package or don't buy it. So, we're not near enough to find the address. We've tried to Google it, so maybe the address is not even right. Now, we did, until we limited our buying to Lazada, which I thought was better when it comes to returns. They say that they're good, so we'll be finding out whether they are in fact. So far, I've not been terrifically impressed because although the Ninja Van Company said, hey, we can't handle these requests, they didn't volunteer a phone number that I could have gone to. So customer service, lacking. The quality is okay if it was what I wanted, and I don't want. I mean, this may be the answer to all my hair problems. I may have an absolutely full head of hair when I use this, but it's not a saddlebag for my motorcycle. So I'd like to do this if I choose. I don't even know anything about this at all. Anyway, so the next step will be to try to get in touch with Lazada, and then some time down the road, it may end up that I might have to put these on my back. They're worth 1,000 pesos, that's true. Trying to be philosophical about it. But this is to give you a word to the wise. Now, on some of the things that we have bought, I look at Beth and say, I didn't order this. And she looks at me and says, well, neither did I. So it usually gets blamed on my clumsy use of the telephone, because my fingers at this age are like bloody bananas, okay? So she'll blame it on me, and she may well be right, but how clumsy do you have to be to write down your address and fill it out and then say, okay, yes, confirm, look for the tracking number and all of that. Even my banana fingers are not that banana, okay? So it seems to me, and this is only my guess, right? You can't, as Pelosi says, you can't take this to the bank. But it seems to me that in some of the other delivery, online, not delivery, but online sales, that they may well be watching what you're doing. And if you don't know that that's what's happening when you're browsing around in one of these sales places, you have a lot to learn, even more than me. You see, so what can happen? You may be browsing and you may say, oh, well, that looks very interesting. That's gym clothes, so I'm going to look at gym clothes. And you might also say that, yes, wouldn't it be lovely if I had a lawnmower? Oh, look at the good lawnmowers that they have. And while you're browsing on all of this stuff, you're being watched in a digital way. And so the chances are that if you have ever received a text from a company that's saying you clicked on our advertisement. So there's the key. You may have clicked on their advertisement. For instance, I would be quite interested in looking at the latest, say, the latest Toyota trucks. So I would look through those, and then I'll get a text from Toyota, and they will come and they will say, oh, you expressed interest. Would you like to get in touch and have a quote and a test drive and all of this? Whereas actually I didn't ask them to get in touch with me, and all I did was want to see what the pictures were of the write-ups on their latest trucks. So this covers a huge thing, because sometimes it's like entertainment if you go online and you're looking and there's all kinds of wonderful things that you can actually look at and see and order and pay for and get delivered wrong if you have a mind. Now, it's my thought, the only thing that I can explain, the only way that I can explain the way that we have had random things like this arrive on the door, and by sheer mistake, somebody thinks it came, I must have ordered it. I must have forgotten. So what it is? And it's something that you have no hope of ever being able to use unless you want to take a chance on taking a pill for God knows what, without any explanation. There's nothing there to explain this. This may be a wonderful supplement to, I don't know, vitamin D3 for all I know, but I don't know. So when things like that come, you're not going to want to be signing for them. Have to say that I've had lots of supplements for working out, like whey protein and another, and say a pre-workout powder that you can buy. So I've had lots delivered very successfully and paid for them, and been very happy with the level of quality. Not on all of them. Some have been absolute garbage. Now, there's at least 3 or 4 websites that you can go to. There's Shopee, and there's several others which I've tried. Oh, Temu, you can order on that. That apparently has been okay for some and not for others. Lazada, we thought, would be the best, and it may well be. I may well have a good luck story to tell you when I next do a video on this kind of thing. Meanwhile, buyer beware. And what we did was we wrote down what I did was I took, in this case as well for these, I took a screenshot of my order, a screenshot of my final order, as evidence that that was indeed what I ordered. Otherwise, they might be saying, Terence, even in Laguna, we know about your banana fingers. It's not a kind of fame that I want, but it may be mine. So, like, comment and subscribe. It does help if you share. It helps even if you like. So don't be a silent watcher. Give us a hand and let us expand so that the algorithms, the great God algorithm, will shine on us and bestow an extended coverage of our videos. Bye for now.